heart-wrenching and unjust. A young Palestinian woman freed from ICE detention after half a year. Ward Sakeik, a Palestinian without a nationality who recently became married to a U.S. citizen, shared her experiences following her 5-month detention by Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, which concluded this week. She voiced her perspective at a press conference, emphasizing how her statelessness led to months away from her life and freedom. An outcome she had no say in and never imagined. I lost 5 precious months simply because I was found at fault for being stateless, something entirely out of my control. This wasn't a choice I made, nor the consequence of any wrongdoing on my part. It was simply about being stateless, Sakeik asserted at the end of last week. Since she was 8, Sakeik has been a model resident of the United States. She pursued higher education, runs a prosperous wedding photography business in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and recently tied the knot with her husband Tahir. The 22-year-old was detained by ICE in February as she returned from her honeymoon in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Her release from the Prairieland Detention Center in Alvarado, Texas, came just days after the government tried to deport her again, only to be halted by a recent court injunction preventing her removal from the United States. After her detention, Sakeik promptly filed her green card application. Last week, the first step of her application was approved. My family sought asylum in the U.S. in 2011, strictly abiding by all immigration rules, ensuring every required document was submitted. I'm on the verge of achieving my green card, she noted. Describing her time in detention as losing her humanity, Sakeik highlighted how she was treated like cattle, with the U.S. government planning to send her to an unfamiliar part of the world. She spoke candidly about the dire conditions inside the detention facilities. The sanitation is appalling, dust coats everything, and the restrooms are extremely unsanitary. Infestations of insects are rampant, and the beds are in poor condition, causing injuries and discomfort. Sakeik vowed to continue advocating for those still in ICE custody. Women who seek a better life here face criminalization and dehumanization. They're treated as lesser solely for their aspiration of a better future, she commented. Sakeik and her family, originally from Gaza, came to the U.S. on a tourist visa before filing for asylum. Despite a past deportation order, Sakeik was allowed to stay in the U.S. under an order of supervision that included ongoing check-ins with immigration officials and permission to work in the country, her lawyer said. In response to Sakeik's release, a Department of Homeland Security official claimed that her freedom was granted after she followed the correct legal procedures. However, Sakeik's attorney Maria Hari disputed this, asserting that ICE's attempt to deport her persisted even after the I-130 petition was approved. The treatment of migrants during the previous administration faced strong criticism from Sakeik's legal team. Attorney Eric Lee emphasized that the U.S. did not regard Palestine as a country at the time, but remained unwilling to consider this fact as a barrier to deportation. More crucially, the ongoing crisis in Palestine means our client would have been sent to a place of severe conflict and hardship, Lee stated. Under the Biden administration, Sakeik had protections under the Deferred and Forced Departure program, preventing deportation of Palestinians. She had every right to travel domestically for her honeymoon in the U.S. Virgin Islands, yet ended up nearly 5 months in detention, Curry commented. Texas House Representative Terry Meza praised Sakeik's release, criticizing the government's immigration policies. It's about the principle of fairness and upholding the Constitution, she stated in solidarity with the Muslim community. What do you think? Do policy changes in immigration law promote fairness and human rights? Or should the focus be more on following strict legal protocols regardless of individual circumstances? Share your thoughts in the comments below.